Hello guys, welcome back to another hair treatment video. Today we are making a DIY hair growth leave-in conditioner that's going to strengthen your hair. It's also going to soften your hair during detangling, prevent hair loss and breakage. So I'm going to have the ingredients in the description box, so do well to check it out. The very first ingredient we are going to be using today is our flaxseed. Flaxseed is a rich source of omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin E. It can also strengthen the hair and prevent hair loss and breakage. It can also make detangling easy. Flaxseed can also soothe scalp inflammation and aid hair growth and thickness. So I used about a half cup of my flaxseed, and after that I'm going to go straight to boiling it so we can make a gel out of our flax seeds. Okay, I brought my flaxseed into about a cup and a half of water, and then I brought it to boil for about 5 to 8 minutes. So once my water has turned slimy, I knew it was ready. So you have to be very careful and watchful so it doesn't overheat, it doesn't overboil, and then it gets very hard and very slimy, making it very hard to extract. So once it turns to a gel with a very slimy consistency, you know it is ready. You can now bring it down and proceed to the next step. This was what my gel was looking like at this point. So the very next step you're going to have to do now is to extract your gel, separate your gel from the chaff, and you're going to have to do this using a cheesecloth or a sieve cloth or a wig cap, whatever it is you use in sieving. One very important tip is that you do not let this get very cold before you proceed to this step, because if you let it get very cold, it is going to be very hard for it to come out of your sieve cloth. Okay, so you have to do this while it is warm or hot, but be very careful so you do not burn yourself while you're doing this. Okay, this was the amount of flaxseed gel I was able to get from the whole thing, okay, which I am going to use like that anyways. It was about 4 tablespoons of it. So now I'm going to proceed to my base butters and oil, and the very first one I'm going to be making use of is my shea butter. I added about 2 tablespoons of my shea butter. The next butter I am going to be using is my cocoa butter, which I added about a tablespoon of my cocoa butter. Now you can choose to add any other butters that you want, or you can choose to add less butters. Okay, it's totally dependent on you and your preference and what you have at that moment. After my base butters, I am now going to proceed to my carrier oils, and the very first one I'm going to be using is my olive oil. I added about a tablespoon of my olive oil. The next oil I'm going to be using is my coconut oil. I also added about 1 tablespoon of my coconut oil. I also use this DIY hair growth oil that I made. I'm going to have it linked in the description box. It's also going to appear up here on your screen. So if you've not seen that video, do well to check it out. I used about 2 tablespoons of my DIY hair growth oil. And then the next oil I'm going to be using is my castor oil, my pure castor oil. I added about 1 tablespoon of my castor oil. I'm going to have all these ingredients listed in the description box and their measurement as well. So please do well to check it out as well. So now I'm going to be adding my flaxseed gel, the flaxseed gel we extracted earlier. Yes, this is the time to add it. I added about 4 tablespoons of it, which is basically everything. You're going to notice the thick and slimy consistency. That is flaxseed gel for you. So you have to just use it anyhow, okay? So once I was done with adding my flaxseed gel, the next thing I am going to add is my emulsifying wax. You can either choose to use emulsifying wax or beeswax, whichever one is easily accessible and available to you. I used my emulsifying wax, and I used about 3 tablespoons or 2.5 tablespoons of it. So what does emulsifying wax do? Emulsifying wax is going to help thicken your butter. It's also going to help give it a smooth consistency. And aside that, it's also going to help your butters to mix properly with the water solution, because the flaxseed we have is a water solution. So it's going to help your butters and your oil and the water solution to mix really well. Once I was done adding my e-wax, I gave it a good mix, and then I am going to proceed to melting this by double boiling it. Double boiling is basically placing it in a pot of boiling water or something. So I let this melt on low heat for a couple of minutes, and once everything was done melting, I brought it down and then proceeded to the next step. This is what my mixture looks like when it was fully melted. This is what it looks like. So yeah, I'm going to now proceed to mixing this. I didn't bother adding this to a refrigerator, so I just started mixing like this. So you're going to have to mix for a couple of minutes, and once you notice it has started forming, once it starts solidifying, turning into a butter, you have to like keep scooping out the sides so you get every corner of it very well, so nothing is left out from the mixing. Just stop, scoop out the sides and keep mixing. Guys, if you've watched this video to this point, please do not forget to like. Just hit the thumbs up button. It's going to help you to push this video out to more people that needs it, please. At this point, my butter was already coming together, and I am now going to go ahead now to add my essential oil. And the very first essential oil I'm going to be adding is this DIY rosemary oil that I made. I'm also going to have it linked in the description box. It's also going to appear up here on your screen, so check that out as well. I added about a tablespoon of my rosemary oil, then my lavender oil. I also added about a half tablespoon of my lavender oil. Now the next essential oil I'm going to be using is my peppermint oil. So I added about a half cover cap of my peppermint oil. You can use a dropper to do this to get an accurate measurement. I just added about a half cover cup of it. And then the next thing I'm going to be adding to my mixture right now, to my butter right now, is a preservative, because it is a mixture of both water solution and then butters and oil. And as we all know, water and oils do not mix very well, so you need something to keep it going for a longer period of time so it doesn't go bad or rancid. So I'll be using this preservative. It's called Germall Plus. I use about 2 tablespoons of the Germall Plus preservative. You're going to have to keep mixing this till everything mixes thoroughly, and maybe a slight change in the color is noticed, and then you know your butter is ready. I keep saying butter. It can also be used as a butter or a leave-in conditioner, whichever one. It can work both ways. So once I got to this point and my consistency looks like this, I was satisfied already, so I had to stop mixing. This is what my consistency looked like. The texture, everything was giving what I wanted it to give. It was slimy, it wasn't runny, it wasn't too thick, just perfect. So yeah, you might want your consistency to look this way before you stop mixing. So the very next thing I'm going to do right now is to transfer this into a container, and I am going to be transferring it into this container. Once I was done transferring into my cup, this was the amount we were able to get, 1 full cup of this, which is actually quite big, so this was what we have. Now I'm going to now show you how lightweight this is and how fast it's going to melt into your hair. Let me now show you how I apply this to my hair. So this is what we are going to be working with. My hair was very dry and crusty here, as you can see. So the first thing I did, and the first thing you should do before you start working on your hair or before you start moisturizing your hair, is to spray water first. Your hair actually needs water. So once I was done spraying my water, I cut out a section of it because you should always work in sections. It makes the whole thing easier. So this is my butter and this is what it's looking like. This is also the consistency that we have. One thing I noticed immediately I applied this onto my hair is how soft it immediately made my hair. It made my hair very easy to detangle. It made my hair very soft. And I also noticed I didn't lose too much hair from the whole detangling process. So just apply this onto your strands and then the roots of your hair, your scalp as well. And yeah, you're good to go. Now comparing it to this other side that I've not touched, you can see how moisturized and soft it made my hair. This can also promote hair growth and thickness. So yeah, that is all that. This butter is actually going to help keep your hair moisturized, soft. It's going to strengthen your hair. It's also going to reduce hair loss and breakage. So thank you so much guys for watching. I hope you found this video very helpful. Please give it a thumbs up, share to people you think might need this video, leave a comment down there, subscribe to me if you've not yet subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next one.